Good morning. Standard 9, subject English. Today we will learn on page number 6, last paragraph, lesson number 1.2, the fun they had. At first I read the passage. Listen carefully. He was a round little man with a red face and a whole box of stools with dials and wires. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple, then took the teacher apart. Margie had hoped he wouldn't know how to put it together again, but he knew how all right, and after an hour or so, there it was again large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. That wasn't so bad. The part Margie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test papers. She always had to write them out in a punch code, and they made her learn when she was 6 years old. And the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. The inspector had smiled after he was finished and patted Margie's head. He said to her mother, "It's not a little girl's fault. Miss Jones, I think the geography sector was uh, geared a little too quick. Those things happen sometimes. I have slowed it up to an average 10-year level. Actually, the overall pattern of her progress is quite satisfactory." And he patted Margie's head again. Margie was disappointed. She had been hoping they would take the teacher away altogether. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away from near Elmont because the history sector had blanked out completely. So this is the passage. See, he was a round little man and a red face and a whole box of woods and dials and wires. Means this is a mechanical teacher. And he smiled at Margie and gave her an apple. Then the teacher took apart. Margie had hoped he wouldn't know how to put it together again, all these things, but he knew how all right. And so, after an hour or so, there it was again happened. A large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked on that form. And so that wasn't so bad. It is good. But the part Margie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test papers. This part Margie didn't like it, and she always had to write them out in a punch code. They made her learn. When Margie was 6 years old, she learned that this thing, and the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. In quick, he calculated the marks. Now the inspector had smiled after he was finished and patted Margie's hand. He smiled and he was finished and patted Margie's head, and he said to her mother, Margie's mother, "It's not the little girl's fault, Miss Jones. I think the geography sector was geared a little too quick, and so this was not little girl's fault. Those things happen sometimes in this path, and I slowed it up an average 10-year level. Then actually the pattern of her progress is quite satisfactory. means Marge's uh, progress is quite satisfactory, and the inspector patted Marge's head again. But Marge was disappointed. She was not happy. She had been hoping that they would take the teacher away together, and so they had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history sector had blanked out completely, and so they took away for nearly a month in away. So this is the passage, this is the explanation. You read it by heartily and write some words, difficult words in your notebook. So we stop here.